Good morning, dear friends. Good. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship at Stony Brook. I welcome you who are here in our sanctuary and all who are attending virtually, wherever you may be this morning. My name is Lorraine Stidd, and I am happy to be your worship associate this morning. Our minister is the Reverend Dr. Madelyn Campbell, and our Director of Religious Education is Deb Little. Please plan to join us after the service for coffee and conversation. Today we're having a cookout to celebrate all of you who have given your time and talents to the fellowship. Please plan on staying after the service for that special celebration, and remember there's homemade ice cream also. For those who are with us online, if you sign off after the service and return to our website, you will find the link for joining our small group chats. Whether here or online, you will find some friendly folks who can answer any questions you may have. I have one announcement for this morning, and this is a reminder that as of July 2nd, we will no longer be making announcements from the pulpit. Watch the printed bulletin for all announcements. And if you have an announcement that you'd like to be included in the bulletin, please send it to Susan in the office by the Wednesday before the service. I invite you to rise, embody your spirit, and join in singing our opening hymn, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Our call to worship this morning comes from the Worship Web, the UUA resource for worship. Come, gather together in this holy place. We seekers are on a quest to discover truth and meaning, to build beloved community. Sometimes we think we've found truth, discovered meaning, built the beloved community. All the answers right here for us. But truth has a way of coming in disguise and of changing as we learn and grow. So let our time of worship be an acknowledgement of the never-ending journey toward truth and meaning, the never-ending creation of beloved community, and our appreciation of those we learn from along the way. Let us enter in and let us worship together.
I have asked the Anderson family to light our chalice this morning, Darlene, Gia, and Edmund. The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. We kindle the flame of our faith in the cup of our covenant. May our cup hold us gently but firmly and nourish our flame that illumines us as lifelong learners, guiding our way. I invite you, thank you. Now I invite you to rise in body or spirit and join in singing hymn 118, This Little Light of Mine.
Good morning, beloveds. I am loving hearing the laughter from the side over here. It makes my heart swell. So I am so delighted to welcome you all for our annual bridging service. I want to share a story with you about one of our UU youth heroes. We have youth heroes. Today, I'm going to tell you about Levi Draheim. So, 16-year-old Levi Draheim rides a unicycle. His hair puffs out around his head in a giant afro, which is part of who he is. He loves his 2 dogs. He volunteers at his local zoo. And right now, at 16, he is thinking about becoming a search and rescue dog handler because he loves helping animals and people. Hey, you guys, could we have whisper voices? Thank you so much. Levi's family lives on the mainland of Florida, but they didn't always live there. And Levi is not a typical teenager. 9 years ago, he was living on a barrier island, like Fire Island is a barrier island on the Florida coast. He went to school 3 days a week, hung out with friends, was homeschooled 2 days, and played with his pet crab, JJ. He spent every possible moment in the ocean because it calmed him down. He and his family were grassroots environmental activists and UUs. At his church, they met a UU minister and activist from the UU Ministry for the Earth. The minister asked if Levi would like to be a plaintiff in a lawsuit against the United States government. The lawsuit claims that the government is violating the constitutional rights of young people by failing to protect the environment. Levi regularly planted sea oats to help prevent beach erosion, cleaned up beaches, and learned about a sustainable environment at home. So he was the perfect fit, and he said yes at age 7. Thus, in 2015, Levi became the youngest of 21 children and teen plaintiffs suing the U.S. in a case called Juliana versus the United States. Meanwhile, climate change was impacting his home on the Barrier Reef. Warming temperatures led to widespread sargassum seaweed and harmful algae blooms in the ocean and in the Indian River Lagoon, which surrounded the Barrier Reef. The seaweed and the algae left beaches stinking with rotting seaweed and dead marine life, killed the seagrass, and led to a die-off of manatees who used to eat the marine plants. On some days, Levi wore a mask. We know about masks, right? He wore a mask at the beach to guard against the smell. Warming temperatures also contributed to more frequent and damaging storms, and in 2017, Hurricane Irma caused floodwaters to rise 18 inches in Levi's front yard. The street flooded. Levi and his family had to evacuate. It was so deep, he said, that it was like up to the middle of the car. Levi's school also flooded, and it had to close down permanently. So the family decided to abandon the island and move to the mainland. But Levi's activism continued. In the years since 2015, Levi has marched, testified in Washington, D.C., and participated in 2 other legal actions against the state of Florida. His lawsuit against the United States has had a very complicated path. As you might imagine, the U.S. doesn't really like being sued. As the case has circled through the courts, the government has had to answer questions. It's a process called discovery, your lawyer, their lawyer. So we might imagine a conversation like this. Levi's lawyer: has the government known about the science of human-caused climate change for over 50 years? Government: well, yes. Levi's lawyer: is it true that the United States produced over 25% of the whole world's CO2 emissions between 1850 and 2012? Government: yes. Levi's lawyer: is it true that human-caused climate change threatens the public health and welfare of current and former generations, future generations, and may lead to the extinction of many species? Government: okay. Yes, you are correct. Yes, climate change is happening at a very fast rate because of human activities. Yes, the government knows about the risks, and we're still giving subsidies and drilling rights to fossil fuel companies. Yes, climate change threatens public health and welfare for current and future generations of humans and other species. Plaintiffs were kind of surprised that the government admitted all of this. Now, finally, after 8 years, the case is going to trial. Levi and his fellow plaintiffs will be in court to hear everything. May Levi and his co-plaintiffs succeed, and may UUs continue to be a force for the interdependent web of all life. Amen. Following our meditation in word, we will sit in silence for a minute, and then we will sing hymn number 123 in your hymnal, Spirit of Life. You might want to find it now if you don't know it. Our meditation this morning comes from Initiation Song from the Finder's Lodge, and it's written by Ursula K. Le Guin, the incredible science fiction writer. Please bring strange things. Please come bringing new things. Let very old things come into your hands. Let what you do not know come into your eyes. Let desert sand harden your feet. Let the arch of your feet be the mountains. Let the paths of your fingertips be your maps, and the ways you go be the lines on your palms. Let there be deep snow in your inbreathing, and your outbreath be the shining of ice. May your mouth contain the shapes of strange words. May you smell food cooking you have not eaten. May the spring of a foreign river be your navel. May your soul be at home where there are no houses. Walk carefully, well-loved one. Walk mindfully, well-loved one. Walk fearlessly, well-loved one. Return with us, return to us. Be always coming home.
Our reading this morning is excerpted from the essay Education as Liberation by Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker, as it appears in the 2001 collection of essays on liberal religious education, Essex Conversations. The struggle in our time is different. We live now in the context of a highly individualistic, consumer-oriented society. Liberal education finds itself in thrall to self-concern and personal healing, or personal growth and enrichment. Such education does little to unfold the capacities of engagement with the world and social responsibility. Self-culture easily accommodates to a culture of self-interested consumerism. There is a great hunger for soul among us. I think it is because we have souls made small by a dominant economic system that defines us as merely self-interested consumers. In this smallness, we have lost the public world and have been domesticated into a narrow sphere of interest in which we are numb to the fullness of our own being and hungry for the bread of an engaged and meaningful life. No amount of enrichment, education, or personal spiritual practice will suffice to fill the void created by our loss of the public world and the diminishment of knowledge of ourselves as history-making beings.
Good morning. It is a delight to see everyone here for the whole service. And we're going to continue to use, our very quiet inside voices if we're speaking. Essex Conversations was published 22 years ago. And I think everything Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker said in that essay, in the excerpt that we just heard, is not only still relevant today, but more so. We have only gotten more and more polarized as a society. We hear more and more about me personally without spending enough time thinking about you and us, yes, everyone around us. The Christian educator Maria Harris wrote a book that significantly predates Essex Conversations. She wrote a book in the 80s about educating people in, well, she would say the church, but in any religious community. It's called Fashion Me a People. And she talks about how we learn and where we learn and who learns. Sometimes in our UU congregations, we start to think that religious education is only something that happens in a classroom and for children. Now, I hope that you hear that and say, oh, no, that's not true. Because we are, friends, we are lifelong learners, are we not? Who learned something new this week? I really hope I see every hand. If your hand didn't go up, if you learned nothing new at all this week, come see me afterwards. We'll talk about how we might change that. But who here, I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands this time. Who here has continued to learn on your journey of Unitarian Universalism? Oh, some of you are raising your hands, but you don't have to. Friends, we are lifelong learners. This is why many congregations have created a position and have now full-time directors of lifespan education, or directors of lifespan religious education. Because as Maria Harris tells us, learning does not just happen for children in a classroom. We learn through worship. And she would say through prayer. We understand prayer in many different ways, right? But you can think of it as that time of personal reflection, that time to digest what you have learned in worship. Maybe it's something about yourself. Maybe it's something about someone else, or the outside world, or how we are in community. But that's one place we learn. Another place we learn is by going out and doing the work of faith in the world. We learn through our social justice work. And of course, we learn in the classroom. And we learn from community. She tells us we learn from community, from being together in community. Certainly we are here together in community in worship, but we sit mostly quietly, and unless someone from the pulpit instructs you to interact with one another, worship in some ways is solitary, even though we do it together. And if you're joining us from home, is this the camera for home? If you're joining us from home, it is considerably more. If you're joining us from home, it is considerably more solitary. You know, it changes every week. Well, not every week, but I have to ask. I forgot to ask this one. So we also learn from being in community. Now, one community thing we're going to do today is have a big cookout after the service. Yay? Amen to that. Yeah, right. And that itself takes community. We have folks who are already getting that fabulous grill smoker thing ready, and tables are set, and people brought food, and we're gonna enjoy it together, and folks are gonna clean up together, right? Right? Okay. So we learn through all of those things. Now, classroom learning is important because there are certain fundamentals that we have to be specifically taught. But it's not just the students who learn in the classroom. We're going to honor our religious education teachers in a little bit, but if you've taught RE this year, have you learned something from your teaching experience in RE? I see some heads nodding, yes. And so, as lifelong learners, as lifelong seekers on a path toward beloved community, as people who are resisting the increasing individualization of our society, let us put our hearts, our minds, and our hands into this work as we learn and journey together. Amen? Amen. And remember, I taught you that amen literally means yeah, right? So, amen? Amen. Namaste. In Hebrew, thank you for asking.
It is our spiritual practice to share our offering plate with an organization working for a more just future. For the month of June, it is the Kids Hangout. The Kids Hangout is a program for LGBTQIA+ youth and allies entering grades 7 to 10 in the fall of 2023. The goal of the program is to offer a free one-week experience during the summer, during which these young people can have fun, make friends, and feel safe. It was started in the spring of 2022 by our Director of Religious Education, Deb Little, and 2 colleagues from Setauket Presbyterian Church. It is not a religious program, But it is a program that has been supported by both churches. Now we are growing. The Kids Hangout provides monthly opportunities for the youth to gather in addition to the one-week experience in the summer. You all know about the hate being directed at the LGBTQIA+ community right now, and you all know that we have been a welcoming congregation for years. Please contact Deb if you have any questions. And please give generously in support of the fellowship and this worthwhile organization. You may make your gifts on the plate or online. For those online, the link to donate is in the chat box, and the offering will now be gratefully received.
School bag in hand, she leaves home in the early morning, waving goodbye with an absent-minded smile. I watch her go with a surge of that well-known sadness, and I have to sit down for a while. Feeling that I'm losing her forever, and without really entering her world. I'm glad whenever I can share her laughter, that funny little girl, slipping through my fingers all the time. I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it, slipping through my fingers all the time. Do I really see what's in her mind each time I think I'm close to knowing? She keeps on growing, slipping through my fingers all the time. Sleep in our eyes, her and me at the breakfast table, barely awake, I let precious time go by. And then when she's gone, there's that odd melancholy feeling and a sense of guilt I can't deny. What happened to the wonderful adventures, the places I had planned for us to go? Well, some of that we did, but most we didn't. And why, I just don't know. Slipping through my fingers all the time, I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it, slipping through my fingers all the time. Do I really see what's in her mind each time I think I'm close to knowing? She keeps on growing, slipping through my fingers all the time. Sometimes I wish that I could freeze the picture and save it from the funny tricks of time, slipping through my fingers. School bag in hand, she leaves home in the early morning, waving goodbye with an absent-minded smile.
So I know I've said this before, offertory is the music that we have. It's a musical offering. The offering is what we put in the plate, right? Wasn't that a wonderful musical offering, yeah? Will you join me in dedicating our offering? The words are in your order of service. To the work of our faith, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings. Amen. Thank you. There's a part where we're all going to respond. We're going to respond with, "We thank you for your ministry." Got that? Okay.
So at this point, I would like to invite our child care leader, Phoebe Engelhardt, our RE teachers, those of you who are here, Katie and Justin, Cassandra, Susan. Anybody else here? And I want you to stand there. So please just stand there and face the congregation. Don't be shy. Come on, model it for your children. Right here. Right here. It's like, now we know where the teenagers get their shyness from. All right, congregation, would you respond with the phrase, "We thank you for your ministry," after I read each phrase. We thank our RE caregivers, teachers, and mentors who have been called to minister to our children and youth, to our future. We thank you for our ministry. Without you to teach, nurture, challenge, and mentor, our religious movement would diminish. We thank you for your ministry. Many people who discover Unitarian Universalism say they first came so that their children could have a religious but not an indoctrinated education. As children grow and discover our religious roots, we too are on a learning journey. We thank you for your ministry. You are a crucial part of the nourishment of our children's and youth's spiritual growth. With deep gratitude, please accept these gifts. Thank you for your ministry. This is for Phoebe. This is for Phoebe. Phoebe. Where's Wendy? Come on up. I tell you. I know. This is Dan. This is for Dan. Dan, tall guy. huge round of applause. You know what they give your children.
I invite you to rise and embody your spirit and join in singing hymn 146. Some of you might recognize this as Bashana, but we'll sing it in English. The Hebrew is not in the hymnal, I think. So, we will now honor the transitions of those in our religious education ministry. Bridging is an annual ritual in our faith, a time of celebrating the growth of our children and youth, and young adults, I would say, as they move into the next stages of their lives and learning. Remember, we're using our very quiet inside voices. So first, I invite Finley and Xavier up to the front, and I'm going to ask you to stand next to Deb here. Will Finley and Xavier come up? Finley and Xavier are currently in our Tiny Tots room for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers, and they're moving into our kindergarten through 5th grade class this fall. Yeah. Now, I'd also like to invite children from our Sunday morning RE class to come and stand over here next to the stairs. And you're going to welcome Finn and Xavier with high fives. Can you give them high fives when they come down the stairs after crossing the bridge? Come on over and stand over here. So you get your high fives ready. And don't block the stairs because they're going to come down the stairs. So get your high fives ready. You're going to welcome them. All right.
So, Finn and Xavier, you're about to take an important step.
Oh, don't turn yours on. They'll mute you. Turn it on, yeah. Leave it on.
Yeah, that's what happened. Sorry. Tech is not my forte. Finn and Xavier, you're about to take an important step in your UU journey. The transition from the comfort and play and security of our Tiny Tots room into your very first RE classes. You've grown under the care and love of our Tiny Tots workers, and now you have a lot of curiosity and questions, right? Maybe. You're now ready to begin your own search for truth and meaning. And to help you on your way, we offer you the gift of a flying ring. Here you go. That's yours, and that's yours, okay? May you soar on your way to our classes. Now, follow me, you guys. I want you to just walk across and down the stairs. And you can give Pastor Madelyn a high five.
All right. High fives. Get the high fives.
Thank you so much. Would all of the children please return to their seats or the blue rug?
So next, I'd like to invite.
Isaac doesn't want to.
Okay, so but do we have anybody for this section?
No, we do. No, Isaac.
I would like to invite any children entering our middle school or junior high class up to the front, and please stand next to Deb.
You guys go there. Roy, Olivia.
These children either participated in our K through 5 RE class this year, or were not served by us because we had too few participants of their age. So we're so happy that they will be moving into our middle school junior high class this fall. Now, I'd also like to invite the youth from our youth group to come and stand next to the stairs, and you will welcome Roy and Olivia with high fives as they come down the stairs after crossing our bridge.
Today, Roy and Olivia, we celebrate you as you take the next step on your journey moving from childhood to adolescence. Ooh. This is a wonderful time in your life, full of hope. Maybe not your parents' lives, but in your lives, it is wonderful. It's full of hope and expectation and wonder. As you begin to explore more of who you are becoming, we offer you a home, a place that will help you soar as you follow your dreams and catch you when you falter. Take this toss and catch game as a gift from us for your journey. As you throw the ball into the air, imagine yourself being lifted into the sky, chasing your dreams. As you catch the ball, imagine that we, like the Velcro, will help you by offering moral guidance, unwavering support, and love. I now invite you to walk over here and cross the bridge and be greeted by our high school youth.
Okay, I invite all the youth except Garrett to return to your seats. Garrett, please come stand next to Deb. And I invite Phoebe and any other young adults who are here, 18 to 35-year-olds, to come and stand at the... That 18 to 35 is young adult in religion speak. I didn't make that up. Come and stand at the foot of the stairs.
Okay, folks, time to get to the college and start recruiting. Garrett, we give you this gift of our flaming, oh, thank you. See, I knew we had another young adult. We give Garrett this gift of our flaming chalice to take with you as you step forward into your next chapter. We send you with our fondest hopes and blessings. May life bring enough challenge to fuel your dreams, enough affirmation to honor your gifts, and enough nurture to give your spirit peace. Believe in your vision, follow your dreams, and know always that when you return to us here, you will find the hands of community. Now I invite you to step onto the bridge. Garrett will share some thoughts with the congregation. When you're done, please pause a moment for another gift and then go down the stairs and shake hands with our young adults.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Garrett. When my mom found this congregation all those years ago, I don't think she would have expected that I will be standing here in front of you saying this now. I want to thank my mom and all the other wonderful people of this community. This will be a mishmash of a credo statement, a news briefing, and a grateful tangent at the end. To me, religion is more than a rule book. It's about bringing people together, creating a community that solves problems, brings comfort, and enjoys life. Life is a game when the score can be measured by how much positivity we can spread each day. That's how I play my little character, chasing a high score of happiness for all while meandering through life, always stopping and taking time to smell the roses. I'll be taking my time to smell the roses this year outside of the academic system. That's a first. I plan to develop my computer engineering, coding, electrical engineering, and soldering skills before heading to a yet-to-be-determined college, as well as improve Julia's garden. I will be improving Julia's garden in my coming Eagle Scout project, so I'll be looking forward to that as well. I find satisfaction improving lives, solving big problems little by little. I find it funny how both solving world hunger and helping someone open emails 30% faster falls under the same umbrella, but it does. Yeah, it's fun. It's not a want, but a need for me, a moral imperative to leave everything better than I found it. My beliefs didn't come from thin air, though. The passionate members of this congregation shaped me. All of your goofy stories at coffee hour conversations sank in. Debating the psychology of government systems and career experience from all of you more experienced folks changed how I think about the world and my future path in it. And here comes the grateful rant mentioned earlier. Moms are great. Let's just appreciate that for a moment. Thank you to my mom in particular. This would not be complete without mentioning Mr. Ron Fine, who has been my selfless mentor and stuck with me since I was 8. Thank you for everything, Ron. And of course, all of the caring RE people. Thank you, Deb. And as well, the board for doing their finance dance. And in general, all of you great people that make up this community. It's not just about getting through life, it's about making it worth it. My journey has indeed been worth it, and I look forward to making this wonderful world even more wonderful. Thank you.
It's a gift from the Shawl Ministry. It's a gift from the Shawl Ministry. May divine grace be upon this shawl, warming, comforting, and enfolding. May this mantle be a safe haven, a sacred place of security and well-being, sustaining and embracing in good times as well as difficult ones. May Garrett, who receives the shawl, be cradled in hope, kept in joy, graced with peace, and wrapped in love.
So Phoebe, would you please go and stand next to Deb? You stay. And any other young adults remain at the foot of the stage. Last chance for any more young adults. If you're between 18 and 35, when we ask you to shake hands with Phoebe after she crosses the bridge and descends the stairs. It should be on, right? Don't turn it on.
Phoebe? Oh, there's Phoebe. Phoebe, we give you this gift of our flaming chalice to take with you as you step forward into your next chapter. You've just completed your associate's degree. And today, we send you with our fondest hopes and blessings. May life bring enough challenge to fuel your dreams, enough affirmation to honor your gifts, and enough nurture to give your spirit peace. Believe in your vision, follow your dreams, and know always that when you return to us here, you will find the hands of this community. I invite you to step onto the bridge and share some thoughts with the congregation. And when you're done, please go down the steps and shake hands with those at the foot of the stairs.
Being raised a UU from the time I was an infant has certainly had its influence on who I've become and has contributed to my values and perspectives throughout my life. It's provided me with an introduction to meeting people from all walks of life. As I grew older, I had my moments of being alienated from the pack, but with that, as well as growing into a somewhat functional adult, brought on the ability to dictate my own personal life path and create my own individual perspectives and values. As I walk through life, I take what I've learned growing up through being a UU and my outside education and enmesh it with firsthand experiences I've gone through in order to create an individual I'm proud to call myself. Growing up UU provided me with the confidence and strength to be an individual and to be okay with being an individual. The most impactful experiences growing up UU for me would definitely be going on our midnight run and working in our nursery. Two very different experiences, but yet they can be one and the same. Both are life-altering experiences in the best way possible. Midnight Run teaching me generosity and what an unrecognized community they are to us, but in fact, impactful community they are to each other. The strength and care that they have for each other, yet many people pass them by on the street as if they don't see the human, the person that they are. The nursery teaching me how to take a break from life, that it's possible to play and be creative and loud and bouncy while also teaching me how to be patient and authentic. For the parents who have children that are currently and have been in the nursery with me, Your children have given me a gift that I am beyond forever grateful for, so thank you for entrusting your children with me every week. Working with your children, seeing little bits of them grow, learning, the excitement on their faces when they figure out how a puzzle piece fits in the puzzle, the trust your children have for me, it's something I'll never forget, and I'm sincerely grateful for it. Being UU has taught me what is important to me, has brought me to realize the gratitude I have for life and the experiences I dealt with, good and bad, and that as much as I developed, the development never stops. Thank you.
Beloveds, I invite you to rise in body or spirit to receive the benediction. Go in peace, go in love, go and learn, and go always in the footsteps of the holy. Amen. And now we extinguish our chalice flame, for our worship has ended, and our service begins.
Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright. It's alright. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's alright.